What is up, YouTube? This is Harp Adventures, my first video for this channel. I tried recording a first one and it didn't go too well. The audio messed up. It was pulling from my phone mic rather than my Rode mic, external mic that it should have, because I was using a random app. Now I just have the Rode app itself. And then for the footage, I tried recording with my GoPro using a chesty where it locks in on a harness, and it was pointed down the whole time. And I guess I didn't really look until I had recorded for 30 minutes and looked that I was basically recording the ground for a half hour straight. And then the mic quality was all fuzzy because it was from my crappy phone mic, so that was abysmal. But this is take 2 now, on like a week later, because I kind of got discouraged then. But it won't stop me from addressing the topic at hand, that is AI SLOP. As you know, AI SLOP shops are becoming pretty common lately. What I mean by that is not just YouTube, because I see now YouTube is finally starting to take action against it and putting an end to monetizing these low effort channels where they upload like 3-hour music mixes that are basically just generated using Suno. I mean, no effort whatsoever. They just put in a prompt and then download 3 hours worth of audio and then upload it to YouTube, and they're actually making money off that, while it drowns out regular musicians on YouTube, which was my favorite way to find music. So I thought I really have to make something about this. And not only, I don't want to just make this channel solely to talk about AI SLOP, of course. I want it to be what I'm doing now, going on some bike adventures, ranting, maybe doing some daytime stuff and going to different parks and whatnot. But I think it's our duty, not just me, but other creators, to fight against this by pushing out as much authentic content as possible so that we can fight against this AI SLOP. And now, I'm not a doomer in that I don't hate all AI. I recognize that there's some good that can come out of it, scientific discoveries and whatnot. But right now, what it's actually being used for is not that. You know, you guys know it's mostly just being used for low quality effort pictures and videos and music. And it's cool sometimes. I mean, it was cool at first when people were just using it to meme, but now they're using it as like an income source, and you know, it drowns out people that actually put effort into video ideas and, you know, writing scripts, coming up with those ideas and having to actually fund them, you know, pay an editor or edit it themselves, which is labor value. And if you just have a computer do that, then you kind of undercut the people that are actually doing it as an art. And I don't know if I would be against AI editing if it at some point were made it easier for creators to put together their videos faster, but you know, there's a line you got to draw somewhere. And I mean, as time goes on, the line blurs and it gets harder to know what's real or what's not. And I feel like it's kind of a lazy effort right now by a lot of people to do it this way, where they just put out that inauthentic content and then even try to pass it off as something real. You know, it's one thing to like say it's AI and not like clickbait people into thinking it's something legit until they've already watched the whole video and engaged with it, and now you've given them metrics to put them into the algorithm, and that floods the whole algorithm with that junk. And it's good to see, like I said, it's good to see YouTube doing something about it now, but I think they're only doing it because of the backlash, which is good that people are making backlash and an uproar. We need to do it more so that other platforms do it too, because it's still rampant on others, like Meta's stuff, specifically Instagram and Facebook. And I mean, I think Meta itself was a rebrand just to kind of untarnish their name and what they were notorious for regarding collecting information. And I mean, Google, all the big techs do that. You know, it's not exclusive to Meta or X, formerly Twitter, doing the same stuff. It's all a lot of AI junk on that algorithm as well now. And I feel like for new creators now, it's going to become harder and harder to come up. And that's why I've been hesitating making this channel the whole time for so long, where I finally got to a point where I'm like, if I don't make this channel, there's going to be so much AI slop flooding the atmosphere that it's going to be almost impossible to compete. So I thought, well, that's good enough motivation for me to start now then, I guess. And like I had said earlier, I got demotivated at first when everything went wrong with the recording of the video and the mic quality. But then I was like, I can't let that be a reason to stop me. You know, humans are inhibited a lot easier than a machine is, so it's our job to try to break through those inhibitions. And you know, we're gonna be sloppy ourselves. And like, for me, this is like my second time just talking to a random microphone and trying to get my thoughts out. Usually my thoughts are within my head, so I think a lot faster than I can actually speak. So sometimes not everything comes out the way I want it to. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. One second, I gotta go down in gear for this hill. But yeah, like I was saying, our train of thought gets distracted very easily, and sometimes it's hard to keep a coherent conversation going, either with others or yourself. I mean, for some it's easier, for me it's a little bit harder. But that was another one of the reasons I created this channel, was so that I could get better at that. Talking to a camera is kind of like talking to others in a way. You know, I feel a lot less pressure just talking to myself when I'm not recording myself, I guess. But I can already feel that the second video is already getting a little bit easier than the first one. You know, it was just that first step that was the hardest. And especially now knowing that it was disposable and I deleted it anyways because of all the mishaps, that it didn't feel as bad to now just be able to rant about random things, because I could always choose to delete this one too if I want, but I don't think I will. I think I'll actually make this one public, just to kind of let this be the first one and let people see the evolution as I go, because I hopefully want to make this go really as long as I can, at least until my funds drain, because right now I'm unemployed and I got about, one second, car coming. Let me switch sides of the road here. Oh. Yeah, anyways, like I was saying, I got about, I don't know, last time I checked, maybe 15K in the bank, which sounds like a lot, but I'm unemployed right now. Okay, buddy. Jeez. Damn, that thing was loud. Okay. Whoa. But I had, when I started, I had about 30K in the bank. Now I'm down about halfway, and it's only been about 6 months. So I maybe got till, by my estimations, about till the end of this year. But I've also figured I could stretch it a little bit longer if I cut down on my expenses a little bit, like what I was eating. I was eating out a lot and realized that that was cutting into my money a lot. So now I've been making some more basic crap lately, like just been eating some rice and beans instead. And I realized that's a lot cheaper. That's the way to go. You know, rice and beans will last you. I mean, I don't know, I got a bag and I got 2 bags of beans and 2 bags of rice for maybe like 10 bucks. And it's already lasted me like more than a week now. I still eat out here or there. And I throw some vegetables and fruit in there too, you know, because the fiber helps, of course. And you want to balance your diet a little bit. I mean, I'm not some virtue signaler on diet because I was eating a lot of junk food, and that's why now I'm biking, trying to get in shape more. I wouldn't say I'm out of shape. I'm a little bit skinny fat. I'm not going to do a face reveal yet. I feel like we'll save that for a little bit, just see how things go. But just to get a point of reference, I'm around about 6 foot and I weigh 165 pounds. So I'm not underweight or overweight. I'm probably about average because I have been going to the gym a lot for the past year or two. But I definitely haven't been pushing myself to the limits like I should. And I was hoping that's what I could do with this biking as well. Maybe meet some other enthusiasts along the way, either through YouTube or IRL. Maybe meet some of you guys at some point. And I'll talk to anyone really. I'm always open to conversations and I like listening. I'd say I've had a very diverse friend group throughout my life in terms of switching from friend group to friend group. I never really had a steady friend group. I've had maybe 2 or 3 people still that I've talked to for a long time, but every other person comes and goes, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. That's just how life brings us sometimes. Circumstances and whatnot. People move and people's interests change. You know, what we like to do with each other. If our interests change, we'll suddenly realize that the only reason we may have hung out with that person is because we share similar interests. And that's all right, I guess. I mean, I do miss some of those people. Some of them I don't, because I realized they were toxic for me. Some people I lent money expecting to be paid back and they never did. And sometimes that's okay. I don't mind giving money if I know the person really needs it. But if you tell someone you're going to pay them back and you don't, you know, then it's just taking advantage of someone rather than actually needing the money in a time of need. Oh, look at that. Is that a deer? I don't know if that thing's... That's... I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's literally a deer. Oh, there's more. There's like 2 more. the boys. I don't want to scare them. I'm gonna get to the other side. Sorry, boys. I see you running over there. A little bit dark out. I don't know how this camera lighting is gonna be. Probably kind of crappy, but that's why I'll watch it back when I get home and see how it was. And then if it's terrible, I'll just delete it. What's up, boys? Oh, they're looking right at me. Oh, they're going into the brush. You didn't see it probably because I'm facing forward, but they ran into the tree line. This is kind of, this little forested area off to my left here is like a river. It's the Menominee River. That is in Wisconsin. We're in Wisconsin here. I forgot what I was talking about earlier already. I don't know, I'm just talking about random stuff now. Oh my God, this hill is killer. May not be in as well shape as I thought. It's not even that big of a hill. A hill like this when I was little would be much easier. Right now I'm about 26. I'm, like I said, I'm unemployed 6 months. I was working in a factory, much like I'm riding around right now, kind of in an industrial area. I didn't mind the job. I mean, I like the people there, which is surprising because a lot of my other jobs, and I know a lot of other people's jobs, it's the other way around. They like the job but don't like the people. For me, it was the opposite way. I liked the people but didn't like the job, and the people were the only reason I was staying there. But they were all older than me. Yeah, imagine that. Was 25 at the time. They were all way older than me. I mean, the youngest person closest to me was maybe also in their late 20s, maybe 28, 29. And then everyone else was like 30 plus, even 40 plus. And they were chill. But it was a printing place, and man, it got hot in there and humid because it had the fans blowing this mist all day because it had to keep the paper nice and moist so it didn't dry up and curdle, you know. But oh, I guess I went the wrong way here. This was not where I wanted to exit. That's fine, I'm gonna go back, but because I'm gonna talk for a little bit while longer. Anyways, yeah, so I kind of left at a bad time. My boss had to get some surgery. So in my department, it was like the digital department, it was just him and me. And he went to get surgery, so I was basically left on my own. And I kind of knew the machines and stuff, but like certain small things, I'm not really a heavily mechanical person. So there'd be small things where I didn't really know what I was doing sometimes, and I get really frustrated. And it was not helping me whatsoever. I mean, there'd be times where I like get so frustrated that like I'd get red in the face and like want to like bash the machine in. But I tried to stay chill when I could and keep my composure, especially around others. But I feel like I shouldn't have been left on my own like that in like such a dire time. So what I ended up doing was I quit. like shortly after my boss went on vacation. And I didn't even tell him. And now I kind of feel bad about that. Because I mean, I just basically left without warning. I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm not gonna take on all these responsibilities on my own and not even be offered a raise or anything, you know, like basically doubling my workload but paying me the same amount of money. Like, you guys feel me on that? Like, who would do that? So I felt like I was getting taken advantage of in a way. So I just quit. I said, peace. And then I became unemployed. And now here we are. Although since that was about 6-7 months ago, like I said, there was a little in-between phase where I tried out some other stuff that wasn't really bringing me much joy. I tried just like editing crappy shorts videos for a while and clipping things together, but then, like I said, that kind of made me feel like I'm just doing it, like trying to get some return out of it, whereas this I actually like doing, and if I have to drain all the way to zero doing this and have to go back to work, then screw it. But doing that, clipping, and then some of the other things I did was like I tried growing some microgreens for a bit, and then I realized, holy crap, those LED lights are really bright, because I literally had them in my room, and trying to sleep with LED lights on, even when you put 3 blankets over the rack system, I mean, that thing was glowing. Anyone who's grown anything would know how bright those things are. And I could like not fall asleep. So with my living situation and not really being able to move it anywhere else in the house, I was like, oh, I'll just have to try something else again. And that, I didn't really like it that much either. It kind of got laborious. I mean, I got a couple grows going. I gave away most of them. I never actually sold any. I was growing some broccoli, some cabbage, some kale, and it was all dandy. It worked all dandy and whatnot. I got some nice, bountiful harvest, but man, you have to miss those things like 3 times a day because they suck up the water. Because when a plant is in like its early stages like that, it needs a lot more water than when it gets more established. So you really have to be there constantly giving it water, because it'll dry out before the end of the day. So that was really tedious. I'd literally take the trays up into the bathroom and put them into fill the bathtub with some water, and then put the trays in there just to let them soak for a second, each one of them. I had about 9 trays going at a time. And yeah, I did that for a couple of weeks, and I was like, I can't do that anymore. So then I also tried making a website, which, to be fair, I did use some AI involved in that, which now I kind of regret, because I'm trying to, like, you know, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I guess humans, we are always hypocrites, where I was like, I don't know how to code, I'll just get an AI to do it then. And I mean, it was a lot of bashing my head into the wall trying to get it to work. I mean, I just suggest learning how to code rather than trying to go the AI way, because how many times it completely destroyed the code and made bugs where I had to go back and fix things over and over again, where finally, after like hours and hours of work, I got like a basic word game functioning, and I was like, okay, I can put ads on this website maybe, and make money that way if I get traffic. But that didn't go too well either, because it takes a while to build traffic. You got to get authority for Google to put you into the algorithm in terms of like search results. Like if someone searches the word to get to the top. So I didn't realize how difficult that would be as well. You know, it takes, when you do things, everything seems easy until you actually do things. Like even this is hard, but I'm trying to push through it and just talking and ranting about random things. And I didn't really have any topics at mind. Maybe I should have written up some things I wanted to talk about first beforehand, which I kind of did. I kind of wrote down that I wanted to talk about AI, and I wanted to talk about what this channel will be for, like going on adventures and whatnot, and just like connecting with people if possible. But I kind of like it better this way, because now it doesn't sound like I'm reading from a script, you know, if I just read words off a screen, and it just sounds, I don't know, if you guys have ever like presented something in class or whatnot, and like say it's on like a PowerPoint presentation and you got like bullet points on there, and you're just supposed to like read them off and then talk about them using like some script that you might have, and it just never seems like authentic, I guess. And that's why some people are really good at presenting though, because they can kind of work with that. Like they just have like that natural talent for speaking about stuff like that in front of like a huge crowd. And in a way, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm not talking to a huge crowd, but you know, maybe at some point, but it's not like I'm in front of a whole bunch of people, so it's different, you know? So it feels a little bit easier for me, whereas, man, if I go in front, when I went in front of like a classroom and had to speak, oh my God, I like freeze up, and I'm like heavily introverted. So it is really hard for me to go in front of a huge group like that, if anyone can relate on that. Like I'll be like freezing up more than I kind of am right now, just trying to think of what I want to say next. I mean, man, I'd be like choking on my words and like feeling like everyone's laughing at me or pointing at me, but like, you know, once they go up too, it sometimes just feels like a lot of people feel the same way, you know, like say when they go up to their presentation and you realize, oh crap, they're like maybe just as scared about this stuff as I am. So it makes it a little bit more relatable, and you know, I feel respect for them. And then I was like, okay, if I feel respect for them, they probably feel respect for me too. I mean, that's how we do it, you know? And that's how you get better at public speaking. You just do it over and over again until you finally get good. But yeah, anyways, I think I've ranted for long enough. I think I'm gonna cut it short here. I'm gonna try to get home now. But yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. We will hopefully do this again. And I'd like to go somewhere new and try this again. Maybe be better. Slowly but surely. And I want to explore places, and I like just do novel things. And I'm sure you guys can relate. Keep grinding, chase your dreams, follow your passions, and we're all gonna make it. Thanks for watching, and peace.